And you know what he did in exposing the left time after time. He's still doing it. He's someone at AFP that we're honored to call a friend. Please welcome Andrew Breitbart.
I just wanted to tell, are there any protesters from the Occupy movement here? I want to tell you what's really going on behind the scenes. There's a conspiracy going on. I just want to show you proof of the conspiracy. This is what they're serving back there. 7-inch circumference cookies. That's how decadent we run in the movement. It's unbelievable. What else do I have? What other props do I have here? How many people saw the Occupy movement outside last night? Do you know why they're out there? Because of you. Because of the Tea Party. Because we the people finally stood up. And they're upset. And they're jealous. We've got 7-inch cookies, you know. So as I walked outside last night, I started to hand out dollar bills to them because that's ultimately what they want. I highly recommend that you give them $1 bills because that's what they want. I have had the privilege to travel the country with AFP. It's been an amazing experience. I just was a humble guy from Brentwood. Didn't think that I was an activist. Thought I was a behind-the-scenes guy until I saw that the Saul Alinsky Acorn community activists of the world wanted to fundamentally change this country into something that it's not. And I said, well, I didn't enter this planet to be an objective journalist. My goal is to try and save this country, and I cannot believe that the American people decided to stand up and finally fight back. You know, after President Obama suffered and the Democratic Party suffered their defeat in November of last year, and that was 100% because of you and what you've done. Everybody on the cable news network said, is he going to hire a Dick Morris? Is he going to triangulate? And I'm like, I don't think you understand who this man is and who these people are. This is not your mother or grandfather's Democratic Party. This is a radical wing of the far, far left, and they've got silver ponytails to prove it. These are the professors from hell, and they never thought that they would ever have the ability to have one of their own in the White House while they had Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid, not to mention all the cultural institutions. They thought that this was it. They thought this was it, and they had no idea that you could community organize against the community organizers. And that's exactly what happened. And what I do know about the left, I live in Brentwood in Los Angeles amongst them. What I do know about the left, at their core, they're incredibly jealous and envious people who, instead of saying, I'm going to create my own pile of $1 bills, I want your pile of $1 bills, they're envious. They want that which they can't have. And when the Tea Party was created, they're like, that's not fair. I want one of those. It's like when they wanted a Rush Limbaugh So they started Air America, and they failed. Like, that's not fair. We need the fairness doctrine. We want one. We want one. Then Ariana wanted to have, I want my Drudge Report. I want a Drudge Report, and she created the Huffington Post. And so look what's happening outside. I want a Tea Party. I want an authentic grassroots movement of people that are going to save the country. And what did they create out of envy? A group of public masturbating, raping, violent freaks. They're freaks. They're freaks. Quote me on it. They're freaks of nature. They've been in our lives. They've been in our lives for 50 days. There's been a public infestation of pubic lice. I'm not kidding you. What I'm telling you is the truth. For 3 years, they've taken a microscope to you and said you're the worst human beings in the world, yet you clean up after yourself. What they have done from city to city, they're freaks. They're freaks. And they're losing. Because you, the American people, finally stood up to the community organizers. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. Everyone, put your fingers in the air. We're winning. We're winning. I don't want them to go away, do you? In 50 days, at my site, Big Government, we decided that we'd go through the police reports and the stories that the mainstream media are suppressing on this, and we have 134 actions that they've done in the last year and a half, and the mainstream media will not report them. I mean, the first one starts with 700 people getting arrested on the Brooklyn Bridge. That's a lot of people. And the mainstream media does not want to tell, they want to say, these people have real grievances. Like, well, on the bailout stuff, been there, done that. We've been talking about that for 3 years, and they will not listen to us. But now that these people who are being organized, and this isn't speculation, this is the emails that we found, 3,300 strong, that predate the beginning of the Occupy movement. These are international, not American, international socialist groups, international communist groups. These are pro-jihadi, pro-intifada Palestinian groups who did not want to participate unless the Jews were not on the docket. Yet the mainstream media conspicuously ignores that. They conspicuously ignore that part of the organizing of that group are mainstream media figures such as NBC News star Dylan Ratigan and Rolling Stone star Matt Taibbi telling them, you need to be as vague as humanly possible. You need to not have any things that you're specifically asking for. Why would that be? Because the radicals want to get as many people to be part of this ambiguous movement, and once 30 days, 50 days, 60 days in, they're invested in this ambiguous movement, and then they'll be radicalized, and then the rioting, the real rioting, not the Occupy Oakland rioting, but the real rioting can begin. And let me tell you who these people are. Yes, they're the international communists, the international socialists, and the international jihadi crowd. I'll get quoted on that, and I've got the proof, guys. I've got the emails. But that's not really who they are. I mean, those are a bunch of goofballs, just like Acorn, who's paying people $100 a night to go to the Occupy, to stay at the Occupy movement. We have a video of a gal who's been there at Ground Zero named Channing, who says the problem, and she talks about the 10 sexual assaults and the rape of the deaf young man that happened there, which the mainstream media will not report. She talks about one of the problems is is that they're bringing in riffraff from, she didn't know who she was being interviewed by. She says they're getting paid $100 by this group called Acorn. Well, it's not called Acorn anymore. I wonder why they had to change their name. But this is not, at the end of the day, the international communists, the international socialists, including the Nazi Party, by the way, and David Duke, would not be organizing if they had not been blessed by Nancy Pelosi and organized by President Obama. This thing would be over. This thing would be over with the rioting that happened, the attacks on Whole Foods, the riots, the rapes, the pubic lice. If the President of the United States said, no, this isn't a good thing, we need to stop it, and tell the mayors of Oakland and the mayor of New York, let's put an end to this. This is community organizing, and this is the only skill set that this president has. And this is divide and conquer, and all you have to do is go outside and see their signs. This is a class war. They say it. This is a class war. Nothing could be more un-American. I know they don't like when you say that, than dividing us and trying to pit us against each other. And that's what they've done. In 2 years, it went from hope and change to community organizing and pitting us against each other. And thank God that you guys have stood up and withstood the attacks from the mainstream media that portrayed you in the worst possible light while they ignore these people. We are in the midst of an electronic civil war out there. And since 2009, 2010, 2011, you stood up. The elections have favored our side. And the American people in 2012 are going to take back this country.